I'm going to show you how to spruce up your vacation photos. Alright, let's make a great episode out of this because a lot of people are taking vacation photos and sometimes they don't, they were like awesome when you were there and you come on and you load them on a computer and you're like, oh, it doesn't look good. And if you guys are, it happened to me all the time, so I know what's happening to you. And but today I'm going to show you guys some like quick things you can do. This is going to be a landscape. You can do just about any landscape photo you do. You can really make those photos like go like, straight out of camera, like gallery. So it won't take long. Stay tuned. We're about to get into it. So here's our image. This is the Grand Canyon. Let's do it full screen at all its glory. Beautiful. And I'm going to just talk about some of the things that I think we can work on in this image. So we're just going to grab a brush and then just start circling some things. So basically what we're getting here is a little bit of haze. And anytime you're photographing like something through a lot of air, the little air, water particles in the air like reflect the sunlight and things like that. And that's what makes things look hazy like this. So it's not super crystal clear, like you can't see through everything. And they tend to take a blue tone, like they look like the sky, right? Like the sky kind of gets in the way. So there's just generally a bunch of haze that we want to get rid of. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is like, it's quite a bit lighter here on the top than it is on the bottom. So I want to equal that out. Alright, we're going to zoom in a little bit more, and you're going to see that this image is really, it's not that sharp. Like you can see, I wish it was a little bit sharper, so we're going to look at the sharpness as well. Alright, none of these things are like cheating or whatever. Like these are landscape photographers. We get stuff all the time. And then I know, like, this is supposed to be like a sunset, right? And it's like so blue. Sunsets aren't blue like that, alright? So maybe we'll go on our filtering as well. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off right off, and I'm going to show you some great options you can do in a levels adjustment layer or a curves adjustment layer, and I'm going to play around with the auto settings. So we're going to go over here to levels. I like levels. You can choose your black points and white points and things like that. You can also hit auto here, and it's going to do a lot of the work for you. Now, some people don't know this, and it's a really cool tip. You can actually go to this little drop-down bar and go to auto options. So if you don't really know a whole lot about how curves work and levels and things like that, you don't know where to put things and pull things, auto is a great option, but I'm going to show you guys some things you can do in the auto options to make it even look better. Okay, so we've got a few different algorithms here for the auto. You can go to enhance monochromatic contrast, and for color contrast, things like that. Now I like this snap neutral midtones option because what this is going to do is it's going to help correct our colors as well. So if it's saying like, okay, you got a lot of blue in there, this is going to take care of that. So here I'm able to like kind of just pick through these and see, what are my different options as far as my color goes. Alright, and I like that. So what we're doing, let's go ahead and hit OK. There's the before and the after this. You can see it fixed a lot of our problems. Like it made our points that was just like, just really too light down here. It really did fix that. But it made it a little bit too dark. But it doesn't look really as hazy. You can see, because what it did basically, the haze makes black not really look black, right? It made the black look like a light blue. So what this auto did is it basically made your black look like black again. Unfortunately, for my case, it's still a little bit too dark. What we're going to do is I'm going to grab a first adjustment layer, click here in the middle, and we'll just drag this up and down a bit, and hit Command I, and then we'll use our gradient tool. There we go, and we're just going to get a white gradient going from the bottom right up there. That looks really nice. If you don't like that, you can just click right here, and I hold the Shift key, and that makes sure I'm going straight up and down. There we go. A nice gradient from the bottom to the top. And you can still see it goes to black, but we can still see a little bit of that detail there. Now, I'm going to do the opposite on the top, because we talked about how it's lighter on the top than it is on the bottom. So you can use a curve or level adjustment. Click that up from the top, and then drag down, and now I'm going to hit Command I, and then going to go from the top down. Okay, so we can see, there we go. So this is basically our tank. This is adding the contrast, but then we want to lighten the bottom of it, and then darken the top of it. So you can see, like, this compared to this, we have a lot more contrast in here, and we fix our color range. So So that auto is going to help out a ton, and then if you see anything you need to change, that's when you're going to go in here and actually make those changes. Alright, looking great. So the next thing what we're going to do, let's see, we've taken care of our haze, and we've taken care of the top part being light, and the bottom part being dark. Let's go ahead and work, we've done a little bit on our colors, but I think we can get even more. I want that like really nice golden sunset look. So let's work a little bit more on our colors. We're going to group those three, 6 clicks to get Command D to group those. Okay, now for our colors, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another surface generator. Here, instead of RGB, I'm going to go to my red panel. So you can adjust your colors with curves and levels. It's really, really cool. I recommend just spend a ton of time in curves and levels to get myself in. Okay, we're going to grab this and I'm going to pull it up. Just like that. So we're going to get a lot of red. I'm going to go to my blue channel and I'll pull it down because the opposite of blue is yellow. Alright, these are surface of the better dial anyway. Alright, there we go. So now what we have is a nice yellow light, but it's too much, right? It's over everything. And I want this mostly to show up on the highlights. Like I want that light that's hitting, you can see like actually hitting the canyon here. I want that to be the yellow color, but I don't need it to show up there in my shadows. So what we're going to do is I'm going to restrict this to my highlights, and I'm going to do so using blend in. So double click here on your layer. Okay, this is going to bring up a layer style. There we go. You can see everything now. And hold Alt or Option, and then I'm going to click from the left to the right on my underlying layer. And it's going to make this, basically, this layer invisible where our underlying layer is darker. Super cool. If I were to go from right to left, it would start to make it invisible to where it's light. You can see now the yellow is not showing up where the highlights are, it's not showing up where the shadows are, right? So using Blend It is just, it's an awesome tool. I really recommend getting to it. It'll make a huge difference in your edit. There we go. So we'll hit OK, and let's just I'll show you hit Command Z. So there's the before where it's just coloring everything. There's the after where it's just coloring the highlights, and here is the layer off. And you can see it makes a huge difference. If you don't like the coloring, it's not a huge deal. Double click right over here, and you can go back in here and you can change like I want less red, more red. You know, really saturate it any way you want to. And a little bit of green if you want to, a little bit of never mind. Don't do that. Alright. There we go. That's looking good. Okay, so now that we've got some of the color in there, I'm going to add a little bit of like a color flare. Flare, if I want to. We're going to grab our gradient tool, use the gradient tool, and then I'm going to use our gradient. And I'm going to hold Alt or Option now, and I'm going to choose one of these lighter colors that actually in my image. That's a big tip right there. Like, when you're choosing to add like lighter flare and things like that, choose the color that's actually in your image. It's going to make it look a lot more real. So again, I'm going to go from right all the way to here, and I'm following the direction of the sun. You can see the sun's coming from over here, right? Like it's brighter in this spot, darker over here. So we're going to go from right to left, just like that. I'm going to change this from normal down to screen. Just going to give us this nice effect there. And then we're going to use that same blend if again. So double click here, hold Alt or Option, and the underlying layer this time I don't want to use visible where it's darker again, right? So there we go. And I know this is kind of like adding back a little bit more of that taste, but I like it. I think it's nice. And you can tone this down whatever you want. Just the color. If you do, because you know when you make a curve layer, you can only double click here and then change the curve, right? But if you don't like your curve, if you don't like your color that you do on a gradient, just click on that layer, hit Command U, and then you can actually do pretty easily, like you can change the hue. Like if it was too yellow, I can just go to the left a little bit and hit the hue. You can add purple or green or something horrible like that. We're not going to, but I did think it was a little bit too yellow, so pull that a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we've taken care of our haze, we've taken care of the color, we've taken care of the top and the bottom, we've taken care of, now all we're going to do is sharpness, and we're going to be done. And when I show you the before and after this, you're going to freak out. You're going to be like, wow, that was beautiful. Alright, so what we're going to do, here's a cool trick with sharpness. I'm going to turn a new layer, Shift Option Command 10, and then Shift Option Command E, that's our snap physical layer. Okay, now I'm going to change this to normal to overlay. It doesn't look great yet, but we're going to go to Filter, Other, and here to High Pass. Now, my big trick with this High Pass filter is don't try to do all your sharpening with one High Pass filter. I'm actually going to, you can see, like, if you bring your radius higher, it does a little bit more. It's moving so you guys can see, like, kind of what it does. The higher you bring your radius, the more sharpening. It tends to look bad the higher you bring it up. So bring it to a point where it looks pretty good, and then stop. But I'm going to actually choose my radius like pretty low, where it doesn't seem like it's doing a lot. So I hit OK. We can see it does a little bit, but not a lot. Now here's the cool trick about sharpening. If you duplicate this layer, it's just going to sharpen more and more and more and more. And then you can figure out exactly how you want. So I'm going to hit Command J a few more times. And I prefer, like, this sharpening with a small radius. I prefer this over just one big sharpening with a large radius. Because each of these, you can see, let's turn that off and back on. The huge difference. Like, look at all these, like, little pieces of lighter areas in the ground. I don't know what those are. Camel crap, probably. Just turn those off and then back on. You can see how much more it stands out right now. So instead of choosing like a large radius, choose something with a small radius and you can duplicate that a bunch of times. We hit Command J one more time because this is going to go on YouTube. I just want to make sure that my point is made. Alright, there we go. And we've taken care of everything, and that really didn't take too long. So let's go ahead and group all of those things and zoom in, and I'm going to show you guys the before and after. So here's the before and after. Huge. This looks like a snapshot that's just taken out of any old camera. This looks like a Windows XP wallpaper. Remember back in the day, Windows XP? Crap. That was just me trying to Alright. Really cool though, huh? Before and after. So much more dynamic. And you guys can do this step on any one of your vacation photos, especially these landscapes, especially in this amazing and make them look awesome. Guys, thanks so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. If you want to keep up with us, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can share this with your friends if you have anything interested. And leave us a comment down below because we actually create our episodes, most of them, based on user comments. When people say, I want to learn how to do this, or I want to learn how to do that, that's how we get the content for our episodes. So leave a comment down below if there's something you want to learn. We read those comments, and that's how we make our episodes. Guys, thanks again, and we'll learn you later.